All right, Queen of Weather, South Florida, taking a look at your roads. Things really slowing down on the turnpike. This is for my friends who come out of the Homestead area down south. You can see those southbound or those northbound lanes rather looking really slow right there. This is near Southwest 268th Street. Your map's still looking really good. Some areas starting to slow down. You can see the Golden Glades interchange right there starting to slow down in the southbound lanes of 95, but that's nothing unusual at this hour in the morning, right? So let's take a look. This is what I was just showing you. Oof, all that red, that is no fun to sit in. You can put some good music on if you'd like to sit in these 14-mile-per-hour speeds, or you can take US 1. You can see right there going the same direction. Things look good. Let's take you over here. You can see you do have some construction on the MacArthur Causeway going eastbound. This is for my friends heading on to the beach. This is just before Alton Road. You can see that little pocket of orange right there. That's because you have a right lane blocked. Just be aware of the personnel working out there. This will probably clear up soon, but I'll keep an eye on it for you. Let's take you to some drive times here. Broward County, 595 going eastbound, I-75 to US 1, 12 minutes. University Drive to US 1, 6. Be safe out there. Eric.
Okay, Annaliese. All right, let's get you ready for your Friday. You waited and dried out all week long to try and head into the weekend. Hi, Julie.
Alexis, Eric, South Florida, you said it. And we're ending what has been a soggy month of September. This is the last weekend. Unfortunately, rain chances do sit at about 40 to 50%. I don't anticipate it to be a deluge of storms. Like right now, we're waking up to dry conditions. So you'll see plenty of dry times out there. Temperatures are nice and mild, upper 70s, lower 80s for you in Key West. Winds out of the east down by the Keys. That's why it's much warmer. My in-house model does pull some sea breeze storms developing. We are still under that westerly component with our wind flow pushing everything towards the east coast. So metro coastal areas may see a few showers later today, just like what we saw yesterday. As it gets head to the bus stop, dry and isolated shower possible later in the day. So I think these are going to start later, like after 2 o'clock into the evening hours. Let's go to the tropics, because really our weekend forecast all is depending on this Invest 94 that we continue to track. National Hurricane Center giving it a 90% chance of development. Right now, disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity from the Caribbean to the Atlantic starting to move over Haiti and in towards Turks and Caicos. Models have been in agreement over the last couple days that it's going to make its way right over the Bahamas. And the reason we know that we are expecting this cold front and that dip in the jet stream to keep this system, you can see as it moves into northern Florida and the central half of the state, just a way from us to have to deal with direct impacts. But our friends across the Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, heavy rain, gusty winds, a tropical depression or storm could develop later today or going into the weekend, and likely no direct impacts for us here in South Florida. We'll just deal with the possibility of our rain chances fluctuating and definitely a bit of a breeze. Otherwise, we are watching Hurricane Humberto, winds of 75 miles per hour moving to the northwest. Expected to be a strong Category 4 hurricane by Monday and then staying just west of Bermuda. More on all this coming up in just a bit.
All right, Julie, South Florida, we are taking a look at your roads. You do have a broken down car right now. This is on 95. You can see right here those flashing lights, that car right there blocking a left lane for you. That is no fun. It's definitely slowing things down for you. Let's take you over to your map so we can see exactly where that is. This is if you are headed southbound on 95. If you are approaching Northwest 79th Street, you will start to see all of these delays. You just saw in that live look that you do have that left lane blocked, speeds coming in as slowly as 15 miles per hour. Again, this is no fun to sit in. So if you'd like an alternate, you can always take 441. Let's take you over to another area. We're seeing some heavy delays. This right here, the turnpike going northbound near Southwest 288th Street. You can see all of that red right there. US 1 definitely looks better for you. I've been telling you all morning, and I will remind you every day, if this is part of your commute, definitely take US 1. You always have delays on the turnpike at this hour in the morning. Let's take you over to some drive times. 595 Broward County. You guys are accident free right now. I-75 to US 1, 12 minutes. University Drive to US 1, 7. I will keep an eye on everything and bring you another update in a few. Eric.
Annaliese
Out there, especially one getting a little bit too close for comfort, Julie.
Yeah, yes, you can say that again. And it's causing headaches for me to give you the most accurate weekend forecast because it hasn't developed yet. So we're going off of those models for the extended forecast. I can tell you today the most accurate forecast is get outside and enjoy these beautiful sights to see from our tower cameras with all the sunshine breaking through. And our temperatures are in the upper 70s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, 82 degrees in Key West. Winds moving in from the east. Our warmest spot is because of our ocean air rolling in towards the Keys. So there feels like temperatures are in the 90s. So the National Weather Service has stated that there could be some low-lying fog out there, but everything that I've seen in the visibility has been at 10 miles. So you should be okay for your morning commute. But by the afternoon, that's when we're expecting some of those sea breeze storms to start to pop top. The coverage will not be widespread, but some isolated areas could deal with some downpours starting after 4 o'clock till about 10 o'clock tonight. As for rainfall coverage, you see my rainfall chances go up just after 2 o'clock. As for rain right now, we're rain free, so let's go to the tropics. All eyes on this disturbance that's really just so disorganized. We've got showers and storms over parts of the Dominican Republic and towards the Caribbean. We have it over Haiti. We have it over parts of the Turks and Caicos. It's just a large, broad area of disturbed weather. That is our Invest 94, and that's the area we're continuing to watch. It has a 90% chance of development in this highlighted area. Again, this is not a forecast cone. It's just highlighting where the models have this moisture headed over the Bahamas. And basically we need to watch and wait because it hasn't formed yet. So once it forms, we'll be able to detail the forecast. Definitely better for us here in South Florida. We do know for a fact it will bring some heavy rain and gusty winds, possibly become a tropical depression or storm over the Bahamas, starting at the Turks and Caicos in the Bahamas. And then again, no direct impacts for us here in South Florida, but Saturday will definitely be the drier of the 2 days because come Sunday, depending on what this is, it'll be its closest proximity to us just east of our coastline, bringing us rough surf and possibly a better chance of storms. Now let's go to Hurricane Humberto. Winds of 75 miles per hour moving northwest at 3, expected to continue to strengthen as it moves west and then north as a Category 3 going into early next week. I'll have a lot more in your local forecast coming up.
All right, Julie, South Florida, you guys are busy, busy, busy on this Friday morning. Lots of accidents out there. One causing you a closure right here on I-75 going southbound. Take a look right there. Cars are not moving. You are at a standstill here. Well, let's take you to your map so you can see where exactly this is happening. I-75 going southbound, all of that purple right there, that means closure. It's just after Arvida Parkway. You do have all those lanes closed. I recommend taking Flamingo Road to get around this. Otherwise, you have to sit in this and wait till they open it up. I'm working to find out a little more about this accident and what's causing it to be closed. But for now, just know that you have to avoid this and take Flamingo Road. Let's take you to another accident here. This one's on the turnpike going northbound. My Hollywood friends, it's just before Hollywood Boulevard. The right shoulder is blocked, but it's still causing lots of delays for you there. If you want to avoid this, you can take 441 or 95. Let's take you over to another accident. I told you were busy. This one right here, Palmetto Expressway going southbound. Take a look at all of those delays. No fun for your morning commute. It's just at Northwest 103rd Street. You can see as you approach there, things start to clear up. But if you want to avoid it, take the turnpike. You do have 2 left lanes blocked. Last thing I'll leave you with, my friends who take the Palmetto. We were just talking about you southbound in these areas. Quite a bit of time here. It'll take you about 50 to 49 minutes to get you where you need to go. Buckle up and be safe.
Hey, Alex, thank you so much for that. Let's get to your Friday forecast. Hey, yesterday we tied a record high in Miami with a high of 92 degrees. It was a warm one before those storms did roll in, right? We're expecting a very similar forecast today. I don't think we'll be flirting with records, but I am anticipating another round of some afternoon scattered to isolated storms today. Nothing widespread, just some showers will start to develop along the leading edge of the sea breeze. Now, our steering component still keeps the storms towards the metro coastal areas today. As for the forecast going into the weekend, starting tonight, we will have a cold front. Yes, a cold front headed our way, moving into the northern half of the state. But it is going to be the reason that helps keep whatever this system becomes, the area that we're investigating, Invest 94, really just off our coastline going into the weekend. So we are watching the tropics, and that could play a big part in our weekend forecast. Basically, Sunday will be the possibility of us having the big changes in the way of the forecast. And for rainfall, boy, we saw some rainfall yesterday, but not everybody. So we'll do that again today. So keep the rain gear handy, even though, I mean, you're looking at these beautiful sights from our live look from the ocean. Key Resort Camp, beautiful, beautiful from Fort Lauderdale. Temperatures are in the upper 70s. Our dew points are in the mid to upper 70s, lower 80s for the Keys. Was out of the east at about 3 miles per hour for the Keys, and that's the only spot that's dealing with the warmth of 92 muggy degrees as you walk out the door. Kids getting to the bus stop dry this morning. You'll be picking them up mostly dry. Storms don't start until later today. And you notice here comes that cold front, bringing some heavy rain across parts of the Panhandle. We're basically just eyeing all these wonderful fall-like temperatures behind the front, anywhere from the Pacific Northwest to the Rockies, all the way to the Deep South. They'll be embracing some drier, less humid conditions from that front. We are going to be enjoying the front, keeping any type of moisture, really strong storms and direct impacts from whatever this disturbance becomes, just to our coastline and mainly just to the east of us. So for us here in South Florida today, scattered storms possible, warm and humid. Tomorrow, definitely drier. Look, we barely see that chance of a storm in the forecast, But then we start to see a north breeze take place because whatever this system does become, that counterclockwise spin from it will draw in more of a north-northeast breeze. So Sunday and really going into Monday, we will have to see if the forecast does change. We could see a better chance of storms. We could see an elevated risk of rip currents for beachgoers and boaters by then. As for what we do know from whatever the system becomes, it will bring some heavy rain and some gusty winds for the Bahamas and in towards the Turks and Caicos, but no direct impacts for us. But again, we are eyeing this drier air. If it works out, it could start to slide into South Florida going into Sunday and Monday. So we'll have to wait and see. Low risk of rip currents for beachgoers, boaters. The bays will be smooth for you in the Keys. Nearshore waters also smooth. 7-day forecast, Gabber and Gary, you may need it today. Not everybody's going to see some storms around, and we'll have a wetter start to the end of the weekend and possibly next week, all depending on what happens in the tropics. Have a great day.
All right, Julie, South Florida, taking another look at your roads. It's just before 8 a.m. Things are getting a little better, but you're still pretty busy out there. It's 7:51 on this Friday morning, and we are looking right here. You did have a closure on 75 going southbound. Things are starting to move really slowly, but they are moving, so that's good news, right? Let's take you to your map so you can see where this is happening. You still have purple here, still saying closure, but as you just saw, things are starting to move. This is just after our Vita Parkway. All lanes were closed, but I think things are starting to clear up. We're going to keep checking in on it and let you know. If you want to avoid that, you can take Flamingo Road. You do have an accident right here. This is the turnpike going northbound just before Hollywood Boulevard. You still have a right shoulder block. Things starting to clear up. You've had a lot of red here a little while ago. If you'd like to avoid this, you can take 441 or I-95. Let's take you over here to some drive times. My friends on the Palmetto Expressway, you did have an accident on the Palmetto a little while ago, but that has since cleared, so no worries about that. If you're going southbound, Northwest 154 straight to the Dolphin, 59 minutes. It's quite a bit of time out there. Put some good music on. I-75 to the Dolphin, 60. Be safe.